Alright, folks, this is Pitching Ace 88, Knights of the Old Republic, part 96, I do believe. Game brought to you by GameAnyone.com. And it is story time. I believe Candace is done with. Let me just... Okay, Karth is done with, and... Okay, so Candace, we still need to talk to him. Yep. So let's talk to Candace.
Yeah, what do you want?
More war story. Oh, no?
Your choice.
Okay, not yet. Let's try and fix him.
Statement. Affirmative. If you believe your skills are up to the task, Master, then I can certainly guide you through the process. Request.
Okay, so
I only ask.
you know he's gonna imply that I'm inept, but let's just get started.
Statement. But I need those circuits, Master. Supplication.
Okay, very well. We'll do
As
this
you
later. So failure on that part. Let's talk to Jolie.
Got something on your mind?
I know we have something to do. Yeah, you never... Oh wait, this one or this one? No, you never did actually say why you decided to come with me.
No, I never did I?
Are you always going to be this elusive?
Elusive? Me elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate,
Yeah, you're right,
I
I
already
really
told
haven't.
you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on.
Move on to where?
To bed. I'm old and tired, you know.
No, really, come on.
How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And there's
Yeah, that's
all the
true.
critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask?
You could have done that on your own.
So I could. Well, not having a ship does tend to put a damper on that kind of idea, however.
Well, that makes
I'll
sense.
admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be
Oh, so
intrigued.
there it is. There you go. You know what my destiny is.
Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you.
Really?
I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy
dark.
Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick.
No, tell me more of what you see.
Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too
Navel-gazing?
much if I were you.
What?
You remind me a bit of Nomi. That can't be all bad.
Great. Who's Nomi?
Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the
Oh, I've never
greatest
heard of her,
Jedi
then.
ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day.
I don't bring you along for your amusement, you know.
Oh, stop being such a baby. Are you always so quick to turn aside an ally? Got too many of them, do you? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? Too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
Okay, cool. Journal entry.
Got some
So what do you think of Sunry's verdict?
innocent. I don't know what to make of it, to tell the truth. Do you think justice has been done?
No, not really.
But that has little to do with the law, doesn't it? Sad state of affairs, that. Too bad, really. Sunry was a good man once. I don't want to talk about this anymore. My jaw aches.
Okay.
Got something.
Yeah,
How
make a
many
healing
could
kit.
you possibly need? And besides, ask me later.
Okay, gosh, you guys just don't give me anything. Yeah, screw you. Let's go talk to Juhani.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What happened after your father died?
After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Terrace. It was not easy for her.
I'll bet. How so?
When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day.
Oh, did she die?
She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being.
Oh, I'm getting it.
Suppliers of slaves on Terrace.
You were enslaved.
They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credits for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians.
Oh. And they freed you?
The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with a dream.
What was the dream?
I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine. We both know what has happened since then.
Juhani.
I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become what I hated. Someday, I may make it up to you, but for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
Okay, cool. So, Juhani, we still need to do her.
How may I... What
Right,
is
we
it
can
you would
talk.
like to speak to me about?
Nothing
Of
for
course.
now.
If there is anything else, I am here to help.
Okay, so the only other person we're going to talk to is Basila, and then once we're done with Basila, we're going to go to Korriban.
How can I help?
Well, yes, when we last talked, you said you need some time to think, so...
You have been patient with me, haven't you? I suppose you deserve an answer. But you have to understand how difficult this is for me to say.
Yes, I think so. I know.
With all my training, I should be able to control myself better than this. But you're not like anything I expected. You're not like any man I've ever met before. I find myself watching you
no.
when I don't mean to. I'm thinking about you when I don't want to. It isn't supposed to be like this.
What are you trying to say exactly?
Every time I try to call on all my teachings to calm myself, they fail me. You have such power, such passion. I don't know if it's due to the bond between us, but I'm drawn to you.
Yeah, no. Are you interested in me or in my ability to use the Force?
The Force is a part of you, as is your power. But that's not what attracted me to you. It's more than that. Maybe it's the bond we share. It gives us a certain intimacy.
I like
If
intimacy.
I could, I would return to Dantooine. I need to be away from this bond of ours. I need to weaken it. I need to be anywhere but near you. But Malik must be stopped. My own feelings are nothing when compared to that. Yet I know this could affect the sake of our mission if it's not resolved. I can't let that happen.
Just give in to your feelings, Basila. I know you want to.
I think we should have some privacy for this. Come with me.
Aha.
You're stronger than I am, and there's no point in telling me otherwise. You will be a great Jedi, I think. I hope. In some ways you make me feel weak, like I'm caught up in the wake of our destiny. But at the same time, you make me feel stronger, more alive.
Oh, yeah. And I feel more alive when I'm with you.
I realize now these feelings are part of the bond we share. The Jedi Council surely realized this. They knew my loyalty to the doctrines of our order would be tested on this mission. By facing and overcoming my feelings for you, I've learned a valuable lesson about control and the dangers of emotion. This is an important step in understanding the Force. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to hear, but I felt that it was important you know our infatuation was nothing more than a result of our powerful bond.
You're rationalizing, Basila. You're just scared to face the truth.
You're the one who can't face the truth. Malak has to be stopped. How can I do that if I let myself be blinded by my feelings for you?
Okay, well, we're going to pick this up in the next video, and hopefully we get laid. But this has been Pitching Ace 88. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.